Welcome back. Now, after 2 days of rainouts, the CPCA is finally ready to hit the track in Meadow Lake. The start time for tonight's races was pushed back from 2 o'clock to 6:30 to give crews more time to work on the track. We have a camera en route to Meadow Lake, and we will have highlights for you tomorrow. Well, it's a race against the clock, all while battling the elements. The World Equestrian Games are kicking off next month in France, and an area rider will be making the trip overseas. Kat Irvine and her Arabian horse Nightwind Savannah will be competing in the endurance race, and as Naramanisa reports, the bond between Kat and her horse will be tested, but not broken.
Hi, Pumpkin. How are you today? What a good girl you are.
Tucked away in a barn on an acreage located north of Highway 16, Nightwind Savannah gears up to go for a ride.
Ooh, back up, back up. Good girl.
It's quite the relationship between Kat Irvine and Savannah. Kat took home the Arabian mare when she was only 2 years old.
I saw this little, scrappy, dirty, mane in knots, cranky little horse standing in the corral, and I said, you know, who is that? And she says, well, that's Savannah. And you know, she looked so cranky, I thought, well, I gotta have her.
The now 16-year-old outgrew her awkward phase and is now a competitive racer.
The more I worked with her and the more I trained her, the harder she was to not like.
Now Kat and her horse are embarking on quite the trek in August. They are headed to Normandy, France for the World Equestrian Games, participating in the endurance race competition.
Endurance is a genuine test of horsemanship that began as a necessity rather than a sport.
The endurance race will take place on August 28th. It will be 160 kilometers through the French countryside. It'll also feature 6 loops, not only testing the endurance of the horse, but of the rider herself.
It's definitely a horse and rider combination. You can't do one without the other on very rough terrain. I can't be watching where she's going. She's got to look after herself. So my job is to watch down the trail and direct her as best I can, and her job is to look after her feet.
There are a record number of entries this year, meaning the duo will compete against 300 other riders. The race will take hours. While finishing first is usually the goal, it's not the priority.
Most important award we get is for best conditioned horse. And the best conditioned horse is determined by the veterinarian scores. There are probably 5 to 7 veterinarian checks during the course of a 100-mile race.
So whether rain or shine, the training continues as Kat and Savannah look to rein in the competition.
I have every confidence that she and I will do well.
Naramanisa, Newcap Sports.
Now, the race will cost Kat tens of thousands of dollars. If you would like to help her out, you can contact her at 780-875-7450. Well, as we showed you yesterday, the women's U18 rugby teams for Saskatchewan and Alberta had a tune-up game here on Saturday afternoon. The ladies are gearing up for nationals, which start in Calgary a little over a week from now. Team Saskatchewan is confident heading into the big event, and a lot of it has to do with a handful of players from the Lloydminster area.
Bailey Dembicki is getting ready to make her second trip to nationals with the Saskatchewan U18 squad.
Hopefully we'll get a medal this year. We didn't get a medal last year, so hopefully just placing will be good for us.
She has high hopes for the tournament, but knows there are still some things the team needs to work on.
I'm definitely coming up on defense and just getting low in our tackles and our rucks to win the ball over.
The Border City product is one of 6 ladies from the Lloydminster region who are having a big impact on the club.
These girls have all come back and they're all taking leadership roles. So right now, all of them are on the field almost all the time. And it's small town, tough, gritty, and you can count on them. It's great.
The same goes for Lashburn native Adriana Poirier. She says the experience gained by the returning players has given the team more confidence.
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of vets, so that helps our rookies out a lot. And they've become 10 times better since the beginning of the season.
Alberta is always among the top teams in the country, and putting in a solid showing during Saturday's matchup only further proves these ladies are the real deal.
Last year it was a tough game and we lost, but hopefully this year it'll have a different outcome.
Now we have a couple more practices, and then next week we head off, so it should be good.
To the ball diamond now, and the Prairie Pirates finally played their first games of provincials in Saskatoon last night. including a game that went past midnight. The double P started the evening with a close 2-1 win against the Cubs. Clark Thompson got the win on the mound and also drove in one of the 2 runs. The second game didn't start until about 11:30 at night. The Pirates were trailing the Athletics 4-1, but scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th to seal the W. Kevin Petruk and Jesse Stansfield each had a pair of RBI in the win. The Pirates then played their final game of the round robin against the Regina Wolfpack this afternoon. A 5-4 loss means the Athletics, Wolfpack, and Pirates are all tied at 2-1, but the Athletics are first due to run differential, so the Pirates will play the Wolfpack in a tiebreaker at 8:30 tomorrow morning. In 2011, he was the CPCA Rookie of the Year. In 2012, he was the association's Most Improved Driver. And this year, he was the GMC Rangeland Derby Rookie of the Year in Calgary. Chauvin's Kris Molle continues to turn heads on the track. And this week, his first career CPCA Show Championship clocks in at number 1 on the Newcap Sports Top 3.
Number 3. Clayton Ermel chases one down to keep it tied late in the game. Number 2. Tanner Goulet ends game 1 with a walk-off hit. And number 1, Kris Molle wins his first career CPCA show title in St. Walburg.
Your 2014 show champions.